Hey, what's up everyone? Shane here with ROA Off-Road. We've been at the Overland show out in Oregon, hanging out with the Paws manufacturer. Super excited about the new trailers. Now, I will have to admit, in the past, I've kind of teased about ball hitches and said I don't really like ball hitches because, you know, once the ball's in there, you only have a certain amount of pivot before, you know, you get caught up. You know, if you drop down in a wash or you're going, you know, the trailer's cambering, you know, if the truck, say the truck is moving this way and the trailer's moving the opposite direction, that camber, you know, where's that gonna happen? Where's it gonna get caught up? Usually it's in the ball because there's not a lot of pivot, right? Suspension will go so far, but then at some point you need this area to be able to move freely, right? So a ball only has so much ability to move before it gets caught up. And I've heard about people getting popped off, the ball's getting popped off because there's no more space for it to move. So we started carrying these new hitches from Australia called McHitch or Cruisemaster, the D35s, D45s, incredible hitches, right? And so I'm like, man, these are the end all. Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of hitches, lock and rolls, poly blocks. I think poly blocks are terrible. You know, you got those on your trailer, throw it in the trash, upgrade it to a McHitch or a Cruisemaster. Now, as far as a ball, super used to setting these up. I feel pretty good and comfortable with setting these up. But the issue is, right, that ability to pivot. So the MoreRide, they came out with this cool hitch that you can lock in, you unlock, this slides, and then once you're on the trail, you actually have this ability to pivot all over the place, right? So if you're hitting that camber, you're really good. And I was like, well, that's really good, but what happens when you drop down in a wash and the truck is kind of going straight and the trailer's up on a hill and you gotta pivot in and out? You're gonna get caught on that upward motion. So what does MoreRide do? MoreRide is now making this new hitch, and this is gonna be coming on the Paws. And you know, I was just kind of like, honestly, I was like, that's pretty cool, but overall, still not a huge fan because I want that up and down ability. And that only comes in, you know, the true articulating McHitch and Cruisemaster. Now with this new MoreRide, as you can see, this is still gonna give that ability to go side to side, but they've also made it where now it's going up and down, right? See that? So now the ball is gonna move, pivot up and down. You guys, honestly, I'm super conflicted. This was the first time I saw this hitch, and it also gives that ability to lock it in still. You can slide this all the way through and lock this whole hitch in. So when you're on the highway and on the freeway, it's really solid. If you want to use a weight distribution hitch, you know, you can use those bars. Why? Because it's a standard ball hitch. And most equalizers and weight distribution hitches are designed for a ball, not any other Australian articulating hitch, right? So I'm super conflicted. I was having this conversation with my wife and the camera guy, and I was like, man, you know, Maynard and Paws and MoreRide, they're just constantly like making me reevaluate things, right? Like at least challenging, you know, because I've been making fun of ball hitches for the last 5 years since I saw these new hitches coming from Australia. And now, you know, I was asking them, talking to them about this, and they're like, well, you know, we could have went and imported those hitches. I think those companies would be happy if we were putting their hitches on our trailer. But Maynard was like, I want it to be made in America, made by Americans, and I want it stronger and better than anything else in the world. And he says, well, and he's like, and I also was like, I don't want to have to deal with hooking a pin or dropping something through. You know, everybody has a ball hitch. And, you know, if you get stranded, if somebody steals the hitch off the back of your truck, you can go to Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, AutoZone, Checker, O'Reilly. He's like, almost every small town in America is going to have some sort of auto parts store, and they will have a 2 5/16 hitch. You can walk in there. He's like, also, what about these guys that already have this fancy Anderson adjustable hitch that goes up and down, and you know those swiveling ones where you have a 2 5/16 or a 2-inch and you can rotate it. So you got a utility, you're doing some yard work, you turn it, you got the hitch, the utility trailer hitch at 2-inch. Your boats are usually 2-inch hitches. And then when you get into really heavy duty trailers, you go to 2 5/16. So you got adjustable hitch up and down. That's one of the biggest pain in the butts for Cruisemasters and McHitches, and I'm not talking bad about them because I love those hitches and they're amazing. But one of the things is your shank that goes into the bed of your truck, that hitch that comes out, you buy one specifically for your trailer. But you know, as I was talking back and forth with him, I'm like, yeah, you know, I like the look of those ones. And he's like, yeah, but the practicality of being able to use any standard ball hitch, right? And they have mechanisms that can go into these and lock them so nobody can steal it because they're so universal, right? But so you have a way to like secure it and lock it. But you also have that usability of like having an adjustable hitch, working with equalizers and weight distribution hitches. We have to modify all the Australian hitches to make them work. With this ball hitch, you won't have to modify them. You could do that by yourself. It's very, very easy. So just some food for thought. This thing, I think, probably weighs 60, 70, 80 pounds. It is so strong. It is so robust. Look how thick this metal is, this steel, all powder coated. The guy that works for this company, he says everything is laser cut. Really robust hitch. Anyways, honestly, I love it when people challenge what I say or challenge my beliefs. You know, here at ROA, part of our mission statement is belief, you know, change and progress. And we always say you got to evaluate your beliefs, change, and that leads to more progress, right? That's how you have innovation in this world. And I always ask, you know, belief, in the middle of belief, there's a word, and it's L-I-E. And I always say, you guys, are your beliefs, are they lies that you tell yourself, right? You know, and I'm not saying like you have to go with one hitch or another, but the reality is I'm really grateful for MoreRide and Pause for challenging what I've been saying and saying, hey, listen, there's another option. And in a lot of ways, this is an option that might be easier and might serve you better. And if you're not hitting a lot of off-road, you're gonna slide this in and lock this up and you're gonna leave it, and it's only gonna give you a certain amount of pivot, which is, you know, 80 to 90% of the time, most people that's all they want. And they can use weight distribution hitches. You get off-road, a little off-road, you can pull this back and get that full articulation. That's pretty cool. So hopefully you've learned something. This is a brand new hitch. And you know what? Nothing like this in the world exists. A 2 5/16 fully articulating ball hitch, that's insane. Like they are pulling out all the stops and they're inventing and creating things that don't exist anywhere in the world. And that's really cool. And here it is, made in America. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We got a lot more cool stuff coming. New models, new trailers, always going on adventures. Have a wonderful day. See you later. Bye-bye.